So, you've moved your broadcast operations to the cloud, right? Well, that means you're up against a whole new kind of threat, one that has absolutely nothing to do with your broadcast license. We're talking about geopolitical risks that could, believe it or not, take you off the air without any warning. Let's break down what that really means. Okay, before we really get into it, just a quick heads up. This is part 2 of our 5-part series, and it's all based on a report from Virtualization Options LLC. Now, what we're talking about here is for general information. It is definitely not legal advice. To get a handle on the specific risks to your own organization, we strongly recommend you talk with your legal counsel. So how exactly can a broadcaster be controlled these days? Well, the game has totally changed. It's not just about challenging your license to broadcast anymore. We're talking about a massive, fundamental shift in where the power actually lies. You know, back in the day, the biggest threat you'd face from the government was a very public, very legal challenge to your broadcast license. It was all out in the open. But now that so much of our operations live in the cloud, control can be exerted behind the scenes by targeting the very infrastructure you're built on, that third-party tech that you don't even own. The whole power dynamic has shifted from the courtroom to the data center. This new reality, it really boils down to 4 specific threats that you face when you're operating in the public cloud. And honestly, these are the kinds of risks that should be keeping your security and operations teams up at night. All right, let's break these down one by one. And we're going to start with the one that, for any news organization, really hits closest to home: the security of your data. Okay, threat number 1, data seizure. Just picture this. A government agency can legally force your cloud provider to hand over your most sensitive information. And we mean everything: source materials, internal emails between editors, even your strategic plans. But here's the most chilling part. These demands often come with gag orders. So not only could this happen, but you might never even know about it. And you certainly wouldn't be allowed to tell anyone. This strikes right at the heart of journalistic independence. Now think about this. A geopolitical event that has nothing to do with you could suddenly take your broadcast offline. Let's say sanctions are imposed on a country where you have sources or maybe a big audience. The government could then force your cloud provider to either degrade or just shut down your service to comply. You don't even need a full shutdown to cause chaos. Losing access to just one specific tool, like an advanced AI feature you rely on, could cripple your entire workflow. And of course, this threat hits you right in the wallet. Geopolitical tensions create very real economic problems. Tariffs on computer chips, supply chain chaos for data center hardware, these aren't just headlines. They directly drive up the cost of cloud services. And you can bet your provider is going to pass those costs on to you, creating huge uncertainty for your budget. Plus, if there's a major outage, those same supply chain problems could mean you're waiting a lot longer to get back online. And this next one, wow. It is a really subtle but potentially catastrophic risk: administrative interference. An engineer at your cloud provider can be legally forced, maybe through a secret order like a national security letter, which, by the way, doesn't even need a warrant, to go into your systems. They can be compelled to install monitoring software, change your security settings, or even worse. It is a quiet, devastating risk that could compromise your entire operation without you ever knowing it happened. And this just brings us to the core vulnerability, doesn't it? The source material puts it perfectly. It says that no matter what your contract says, when you are in the public cloud, you never, ever have ultimate control. Legal frameworks can and will override any commercial agreement you have, putting government interests first. So all of this leads to a critical new understanding of how power works in the modern age. Silencing a broadcaster doesn't require a big public fight over a license anymore. There are newer, much more subtle tools in the toolbox. So you might be asking, how is this even possible? How can a broadcaster be controlled or censored or disrupted without that big public regulatory battle? Well, the answer is in 4 key intervention methods that completely bypass all that traditional oversight. Okay, this table lays it all out. First, you've got export controls. The government can just deny you access to crucial tech, which degrades your quality. Then there are security mandates, where they can force you into intrusive audits and basically compromise your autonomy. In a real crisis, they could even resort to infrastructure seizure, literally taking over the data centers you rely on. And finally, you have emergency orders, which can force your cloud provider to block your content, censoring you instantly and in total secret. So let's just zoom out for a second and really think about the big picture here. What we are witnessing is a fundamental, ground-shaking change in the relationship between the government and the media.
Here's the new reality. It's a simple and, frankly, pretty scary equation. If you control the infrastructure, you control the broadcast. This reliance on a third-party public cloud creates a direct line for government influence that just never existed when broadcasters owned all their own physical gear.
And that leaves us with the one crucial question that every single broadcaster has to be asking themselves right now. When your core operations are running on someone else's computers, all subject to a tangled web of laws you can't control, who really has the final say? We're going to dig into that and some potential ways to fight back in our next explainer.